What did that do to your sense of masculinity, though?
I wouldn't have thought much about masculinity at that time, other than, masculinity to me at that time was a very conquering. It was the epitome of sort of toxic masculinity, like what.
Yeah.
The sort of cliche would be, it's a conquering masculinity, it's a use masculinity, it's a, it wasn't necessarily defined by things internal, but things that I did or ways I acted, or, a certain confidence that I had talking to women, and usually a false confidence or a feigned or
somewhat manipulative.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't think you can live that life without being manipulative on some level.
I think it becomes kind of like a false standard. Like, I'm more of a man if I, picked up the girl in the bar, and if I fail, I'm like somehow less of a man, kind of thing. And, I remember in my own life going through a period I was very socially awkward, and beginning to get out and maybe go dancing, go to the bar, whatever. And even though morally I knew better, there was this kind of like impressed admiration for the guy that's always picking up the girl, and how do I do that? And probably in some ways made me feel less manly, less masculine, back to your point.
Yes.
Even though it's just a complete reversal of the truth.
Yes, I mean, I was on Western Kentucky's baseball team, D1 school, big guys in the locker room that were 100 pounds heavier than I was and could squat 300 pounds more than I ever could dream of, right? And all they were doing, not all of them, some of were good men, right? But many of these guys, 18, 19, 20-year-old hotshots who think they're never going to die, are talking about how many women they've conquered and all of the different things that they thought made them men. And I felt just this emptiness. And yet, at the same time, I felt peer pressure. Like, oh, that's what it means to be cool. That's what it means to belong. And so how easy that is to be pulled into,
And to your point, sorry, real quick, Bryan, to your point, that is the epitome of toxic masculinity. And I think it's not so much that masculinity per se is toxic, it's this false notion
Yes,
of
it's not masculinity.
Because that's not what it means to be really a man. That's,
right. Authentic masculinity is what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah, toxic masculinity isn't even masculine.
Right.
Precisely.
Exactly.
It's a twist, it's a lie.